Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday to you. I pray that your Friday was a wonderful day, that you found some spaces and some pockets of your day that you were able to smile, that you were able to laugh, that you were able to bring some joy to someone else. I know that it's difficult being in our homes, practicing social distancing. And I want to thank each and every one of you who are taking this seriously. Each and every one of you who are making the decision, as difficult as it may be, to practice social distancing. And let me tell you, what I have found is that during this time of social distancing, I have been involved in more FaceTime, group text messages, just had more interaction with people who I normally don't talk to on a regular basis. So that's one hidden blessing of being forced to find new ways to be in community. And for that, I am very grateful. And that leads us into our topic for today. This is the third part of our self-care, how to improve your sleep, or tips that may help to improve your sleep. Just to remind you, or just to highlight for those who may be new, um, when our anxiety is raised, when we are fearful about what could possibly happen, when our thoughts are racing with all of the what ifs and doomsday scenarios and thinking on the negative, it can severely impact our ability to get quality sleep. The other piece is that by being inside all day long, some of us are finding that we're just spending a lot of time sleeping, which means that you're getting small pockets, but it's not quality sleep. During when we sleep, there are different things that our bodies does in order to regenerate, in order to heal itself, in order to rest, in order to do all those physiological functions that I don't necessarily know all the names of, but there's a lot that happens when we sleep, and that's why sleep is so important. So today, I want to tell you about something that I started doing a couple of years ago, and I started doing it because I was having challenges sleeping. Yes, I was having challenges sleeping, and it wasn't because of COVID-19. It was simply because I had become menopausal, and one of the byproducts of menopause can be it affects your sleep. And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so what I began to do on Facebook is every night I would write a post that began with giving thanks for. And then I would just begin to list maybe one or two things that had happened during the day that I was particularly thankful for. And in the beginning, it started with me talking about small things like how sweet a piece of watermelon is. Because everyone who really knows me knows that watermelon is my favorite food. I love watermelon. And when I get a good sweet piece of watermelon, it just does something for me. As I began to do this every night, I noticed that some nights I'd have to really search and think, what am I thankful for today? What am I grateful for today, particularly if it had been a very challenging day? But I would not go to bed until I came up with at least one thing. So sometimes the one thing may have been giving thanks that I did not go off on whoever who got on my nerves or did something to make me uncomfortable or to raise my anger. Or it may have been something about I'm really grateful, I'm giving thanks because I chose not to respond in a particular way. I'm very grateful or giving thanks because I decided to take a deep breath as opposed to saying that thing I really wanted to say. So as you can see, sometimes finding something to be thankful for, grateful for can be really easy. And sometimes it can be really, really challenging. So let me tell you about something that happened yesterday. Probably two quick things. So I had bought a puzzle maybe about a year and a half ago. And I bought my grandchildren once. I bought myself one, but I left mine in the trunk of my car. I'd never taken it out. And when we began social isolation, I remembered, oh, I have a puzzle. So I took it out and I started doing this puzzle. And it really occupied my time. It made the time go by. It was a 1,000-piece puzzle, so I really challenged myself. And it took me some time, but bit by bit, I put the puzzle together. So at the end of each day, I was always giving thanks that I had gotten a little further with the puzzle, that I had not given up, I had not quit. And even if my pace was not as fast as some others might be, even if I only did a couple of pieces, I was very grateful. And so by the time I finally got the puzzle totally together, I was a little sad because it was like, what's next? So I ordered 4 more puzzles. Now that was a couple of weeks ago. And I think the beginning of this week, this box came. And what I do when boxes come to my house, I wipe them down before I bring them in the house. And then I put them in my basement so they can kind of sit for a while before I actually take things out, like for a couple of days. And so I had no idea what was in this box. I never really looked to see where it comes from. And when I finally opened this box, guess what? It was my box with my 4 new puzzles. So I was very, very grateful yesterday that when I opened that box, it felt like Christmas. It felt like I had been given a gift. And so, like I said, I encourage you tonight, one of my sleep tip is to focus on right before you go to sleep. You don't have to write it down, but it might be good to write it down. Some of you are not on social media, put it in your journal, but just to spend maybe 2 sentences or even one that says, giving thanks for, and then fill in the blank. What are you giving thanks for that day? What are you grateful for that day? And try not to say the same thing every day. I know all of us, in particular, for most of us, are very grateful that we have life. We're very grateful that we have family. We're very grateful for those things, but it kind of defeats the purpose if those are the only things that you are thankful for. I challenge you to look for other things in your day that you are thankful for. I know one thing I'm grateful for. I'm going to add this in and then I'm going to end. For years, my basement would leak if it was a heavy rain. And for years, it was just completely ignored. We would just mop it up. And then finally this year, I decided, or maybe in the last year, enough is enough. And I called people in to waterproof my basement. So I am very, very thankful, very grateful that every time it rains, I don't have to go downstairs and see water on the floor. Now, there's sometimes when it rains really hard, I'm kind of thinking, I hope this stuff they have in the basement really works. But guess what? It works every time. And for that, I am grateful. So I encourage you to have a wonderful Saturday. And as we move into evening, when it's time to go to bed, remember, don't eat anything too much before you go to sleep to give your body time to digest it. Remember to do a list or even a sentence of something that you are grateful for that you experience in this day. And remember, when you do it on purpose. I love you all, and I will talk with you tomorrow. Have a great day.